Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Dallas Meditation Center and Awakening Heart Community of Mindful Living. So glad you could join us tonight here on YouTube. And this month we're talking about peace, peacefully together. And so tonight we will do our usual guided meditation and a talk. And then after that, we will have our gathering on Zoom. And so join us on Zoom afterwards, and we will talk and have a little bit of face-to-face time. And I will post that link to Zoom in a little bit in the chat window. And I know over the past few weeks, a few of you have had trouble connecting using that link. So I'm also going to put the meeting code in there as well in case YouTube mangles that link and you have trouble reaching. So anyway, this month, as I said, we've been talking about peacefully together, and we've had several guest speakers. Bobby spoke to us, and Miles spoke to us. Last week, we had the monastics from Magnolia Grove, and this week, we're fortunate to have our good friend Ashley Wilkerson with us tonight to give our talk. So my name is Cornell. Lisa is our bell master. Bobby will be leading us in our guided meditation, and then Ashley will be giving a talk. So find that quiet place and sit back, get relaxed, and let's start with 3 bells. And I see some of you already checked in the chat window. Please do that. And I'll read your chats here in a little bit. It's nice to see someone else is here with us when we're sitting here just talking to a computer screen. But let's begin with our opening affirmation. Many of you know it. And if you don't, just follow along, and we use the same one each week. Noble community, we gather here now to honor the way of peace and nonviolence, the way of wisdom and compassion, the way of joy and beauty. In solidarity with one another, with all humanity, and with all life on earth. Friends on the path, we gather here now to deepen our solidity like a mountain and to renew our freshness like a flower. Through mindful sitting and walking, mindful singing and breathing, and mindful speaking and listening. Family of awakening, we gather here now to celebrate the one infinite light that shines through many religions and many cultures, to cultivate the wisdom of our many teachers, both ancestral and contemporary, and to affirm the capacity within ourselves and all persons of every race, gender, orientation, and tradition to realize full and complete enlightenment. So it looks like several of you have checked in. Hello to James. Hello, Heather. Hello, Miles. Julie. Hello to you. Catherine. Hello, everyone bowing in. Curtis. Oh, hello, Curtis from Englewood. Very nice to see you here, Curtis. Carrie, who's joining us from Europe. Luis. Hello. Michael. Bows to all. Rich and Patty are here. Barbara Wilson. Yes, Curtis, our true unfolding family. Curtis was sitting behind me during our ordination this past fall. So really happy to see him. Nick, hello. John, hello to John. Paul, grateful for the opportunity to come together. Hello, March Ophitis. Oh, Carrie asked, is someone else from Switzerland here? I'm not sure. And Milena is here. So hello to everyone. It's good to see you. Hi. Oh, Isabella from Dallas, a friend of Ashley. Very nice. So hello to everyone. Really so nice to read your hellos. And so we can still be practicing together. As you know, that our theme for the entire year is together. And when this theme was decided, it was long before we knew anything of a pandemic or that we would not really be physically together. And when we talked about this, though, it was like, I think together is even more poignant now because we are still together. We're never alone. We have our community. Our community is never apart, even though we're in different locations. So, really happy that you're all here and that we are truly together. So let's begin with, let's do a Medicine Buddha chant tonight. Several of you know it. And if you don't, you can always go to the Dallas Meditation Center website, and over in the right-hand column, just scroll down and you'll see the Medicine Buddha of Healing chant. The words are there, and you can also practice it and learn it by singing along with Brother Chi Sing. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaishya Guru Vaiduriya Prabharajaya Tathagataya Arhate Samyak Sambuddhaya Tadyata Vaishya Vaishya Maha Vaishya Rajat Samudgate Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaishya Guru Vaiduriya Prabharajaya Tathagataya Arhate Samyak Sambuddhaya Tadyata Om Vaishya Maha Vaishya Rajat Samudgate Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaishya Guru Vaiduriya Prabharajaya Tathagataya Arhate Samyak Sambuddhaya Tadyata Om Vaishya Maha Vaishya Rajat Samudgate Swaha. So the Medicine Buddha mantra, knowing that healing and peace are present, knowing that they're available to us, and welcoming them into our lives. And that's what that chant is about. Hello, Stephanie. Welcome. And so here in a moment, we will have our guided meditation. So find that comfortable position. Just sit back, turn your phone to do not disturb. You can either sit or lie down, or if you want to practice walking meditation, you are welcome to do that during the guided meditation. So let's begin.
So let's begin with one nice deep breath, a good cleansing breath. Being mindful of the inhale and the exhale. In this loving kindness meditation, you will be guided to think of a few sentences, and we will begin with ourselves, and then we will invite into our thinking somebody else. So just think this sentence after I read it to you. May I be peaceful, happy, and light in body and spirit. May I be peaceful, happy, and light in body and spirit. May I be safe and free from injury. May I be safe and free from injury. May I be free from anger, afflictions, fear, and anxiety. May I be free from anger, afflictions, fear, and anxiety. May I learn to look at myself with the eyes of understanding and love. May I learn to look at myself with the eyes of understanding and love. May I be able to recognize and touch the seeds of joy and happiness in myself. May I be able to recognize and touch the seeds of joy and happiness in myself. May I learn to identify and see the sources of anger, craving, and delusion in myself. May I learn to identify and see the sources of anger, craving, and delusion in myself. May you be peaceful, happy, and light in body and spirit. May you be peaceful, happy, and light in body and spirit. May you be safe and free from injury. May you be safe and free from injury. May you be free from anger, afflictions, fear, and anxiety. May you be free from anger, afflictions, fear, and anxiety. May you learn to look at yourself with the eyes of understanding and love. May you learn to look at yourself with the eyes of understanding and love. May you be able to recognize and touch the seeds of joy and happiness in yourself. May you be able to recognize and touch the seeds of joy and happiness in yourself. May you learn to identify and see the sources of anger, craving, and delusion in yourself. May you learn to identify the sources of anger, craving, and delusion in yourself. May we be peaceful, happy, and light in body and spirit. May we be peaceful, happy, and light in body and spirit. May we be safe and free from injury. May we be safe and free from injury. May we be free from anger, afflictions, fear, and anxiety. May we be free from anger, afflictions, fear, and anxiety. May we learn to look at ourselves with the eyes of understanding and love. May we learn to look at ourselves with the eyes of understanding and love. May we be able to recognize and touch the seeds of joy and happiness in ourselves. May we be able to recognize and touch the seeds of joy and happiness in ourselves. May we learn to identify and see the sources of anger, craving, and delusion in ourselves. May we learn to identify and see the sources of anger, craving, and delusion in ourselves. May I be peaceful, happy, and light in body and spirit. May I be safe and free from injury. May I be free from anger, afflictions, fear, and anxiety. May I learn to look at myself with the eyes of understanding and love. May I be able to recognize and touch the seeds of joy and happiness in myself. May I learn to identify and see the sources of anger, craving, and delusion in myself. Let's sit quietly for a few minutes and just contemplate, let these wishes sink in for ourselves and for others. Really allowing ourselves to receive these blessings and share them with others. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. May all beings be joyful. May all beings be at peace. Brahma Vihara Mate. Brahma Vihara Karuna. Brahma Vihara Mudita. Brahma Vihara Upeksha. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. May all beings be joyful. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be at peace. So just relax, but yet we can stretch, open the eyes, move the shoulders, but staying in that mindful state, needing to be nowhere except right here and no other time except now. Being able to carry this peaceful state, this state of beingness with us everywhere, not just when we're sitting on the cushion or when we're gathered in meditation. Now we'll do our 3 bows to the 3 jewels of our practice, those being these qualities that are within all of us. The Buddha being that the quality of enlightenment and awakening. The Dharma being the words that we use with each other, our listening and our sharing and learning together. And the Sangha, the community that comes together either in person or online or out there in the community that might not even know who we are, but is that Sangha that comes together to help each other and practice together. So
listening to the bell. We take refuge in the Buddha, the awakening heart of infinite light, that which shows us the way in this life. We take refuge in the Dharma, the awakening path of infinite light, the way of understanding and of love. We take refuge in the awakening community of infinite light, those who live in harmony and awareness. So joining us tonight is our friend Ashley Wilkerson, who's been part of our community for many years, since when we were located over on Floyd Road in Richardson, maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. And many of you know Ashley, and she has since moved away. She is now living in California, but she's here with us in person this week. It was a nice surprise that she could be here. And many of us know Ashley. Ashley is an actress and an activist and a poet and a really good friend. And so let's welcome Ashley.
Good day, brothers and sisters. Wow. All I can do is just take a moment to smile. I'm truly, truly, truly grateful to be here. When I received the invitation to speak from Bobby, it just touched my heart because this community is near and dear to me. And so from my heart to yours, I'm going to be sharing with you. So the Dallas Meditation is one of my spiritual homes. So before I begin the official talk, I want to take the time to honor two very dear ancestors to me. Brother Chi Singh, who is the founder of this beloved community. It was almost like I felt Chi Singh trying to tickle me during meditation. And I'm like, Chi Singh, I got to be serious. Don't make me giggle right now. So I have to acknowledge my dear brother Chi Singh, who is in the ancestral realm. And I also have to acknowledge my brother Jun, who was killed in 2007. So thank you, Chi Singh. Thank you, Jun. And so I'm going to tell you a little story. And I have some notes, but you can feel me. It was actually about 8 years ago, Carnell, when I walked into Dallas Meditation Center, literally in pain. I was on a break from a theater show, and I had recently rear-ended a Dallas police officer. I didn't think about this memory until until today. I had rear-ended a cop. And so in downtown Dallas, and it wasn't a major accident, but I was afraid and I experienced some whiplash. My entire body was sore for weeks. And if I'm honest, my heart was a little sore too. I was still grieving the loss of my brother, Jun. I had recently broken up with a boyfriend, and I'd grown tired of performing on stage. And then getting off stage and still feeling weighed down by the weight of the world. And I really wanted some true peace. Now, someone suggested I take a Tai Chi class at this spiritual center in Richardson named Dallas Meditation Center. And because I'd been meditating for a few years, the name really resonated with me. So one day, even though I was sore, I showed up for Tai Chi. And in the middle of the class, I was in so much pain, I decided to walk out. And as I was walking out the door, I'll never forget, there was this little fairy in brown, that was Chi Sing, walked up to me and was like, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm in pain, I'm sore. My heart hurts, my arm hurts. I just rear-ended a cop, and I tried to take Tai Chi class, but stretching even hurts. And he was so kind and gentle. He suggested that I also told him I was hungry. So it was all of that. I was hungry and sore, and I couldn't make it through Tai Chi. And so Chi Sing, in his very Chi Sing way, suggested that I go in the kitchen and get something to eat. And then he said I could go into a room and lay down. And so that spoke to my inner child. You know, I get to eat and take a nap. I felt like a kindergartner. I was like, cool. And he said, and if you are inspired, after you take your nap, you can come join us for the young adult meditation class. I believe it was on a Monday. And so I had a full belly. I went into the room and was just snuggled. And I came out and I went to the meditation class. It was so powerful because when I walked through the door, sitting before me was Thich Nhat Hanh. Many of you know Thich Nhat Hanh. He's legendary. One of my great teachers, the incredible Buddhist monk, who worked side by side with Dr. King to amplify peace, to advocate for peace during the time of the Vietnam War. When I walked into class, I realized there were no coincidences. When I saw Thich Nhat Hanh, I immediately thought back to my friend Paz from college, who had sent me Thich Nhat Hanh's book, Creating True Peace, Ending Violence in Yourself, Your Community, and the World, literally a few weeks after my brother was buried. I'd found safety at the Dallas Meditation Center, and I consistently showed up for about 2 years. Oh, it just warms my heart because I learned so much from the Dharma talks and from the sharing. Truly, Chi Sing's lessons, Toshi's, they were very life enhancing. And then I started going to noonday meditation with Bobby and doing walking and sitting meditations, which were very soothing to my spirit. And I also remember certain meditation days after Carnell played his wonderful flute. We would behave like little school children while everyone was so serious in their meditative state. And we would make eyes at each other and laugh and then return back to ourselves. And it was really special also being in community with so many people who didn't look like me. It gave us all an opportunity to truly speak heart to heart. And that is what I strive to continue to do, no matter where I am. So when I came up with the title, Black Lives Matter, Enraged, and Peaceful Warriors on the Battlefield, I became aware that some people would take offense to the title, Black Lives Matter. And some may take offense to the word enraged. You know, we're so peaceful, we don't get angry, right? Please join me in closing your eyes just for a few moments, placing your hands on your heart, and repeating to yourself, Black Lives Matter. Observe your heartbeat. Black Lives Matter. Notice any sensations, any resistance that you may feel. Just breathe through it. Any tenderness, sorrow, grief, uncertainty, or anger, and just sit with yourself for a moment. Let's take a deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouths. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Don't rush. Dear friends, as many of you know, we are living in such challenging and beautiful times. We are in the midst of a global pandemic that has turned our worlds upside down. And this pandemic has and is disproportionately affecting Black and Brown people. We know that African Americans continue to be brutalized by the police and experience an overwhelming amount of racism on a daily basis. There is so much suffering in the world. This is also an election season. And all those little things that have been hidden in the shadows, those things that have made us all very uncomfortable, they've kind of come out to pray. And I do mean pray, P-R-E-Y. It feels like we are on multiple battlefields. There are landmines in our homes, at work. And this is something that a lot of people don't want to admit. There are a lot of internal landmines. And if we're not mindful, and if they are left unchecked, you too could explode. We all could. So by definition, enraged means quite simply very angry. And brothers and sisters, if you have not experienced anything that made you angry, at least in the last couple months, you might want to check your pulse. Really? Are you still alive? We know that anger can be such a good teacher if you take the time to listen to it. Mindful breathing, mindful walking are all excellent tools. And when we acknowledge our own anger and our own suffering, it truly becomes much easier to extend that compassion to others. We know that on the battlefield, there are often opposing groups. But when you strip away the exterior layers, the weapons, the badge, the uniform, the skin color, we really know that the truth, or we should know or remember that the truth of who we are, born precious. We're all human beings trying to get through this school called Earth. Some of us might feel like we're getting Fs, but we're all trying to make sense of what we've been given. I do believe in my heart that even in the midst of this battlefield that we're all in, whether we like it or not, most folks are kind-hearted. People of all races offer goodness. And yet, we also have to acknowledge the fact that there are a lot of people intentionally causing pain and suffering. And sometimes it feels like they're doing their part to destroy the world. But the world and Mother Earth is resilient, and we are too. We have to be very honest with ourselves, and examine the seeds of hatred, of prejudice, harsh judgments, anger that sits within each one of us. I like to think that in a way we all need a root canal. We need to go to the root, clear it out, so that we can truly live in this beloved community. We can truly, truly, truly embody what peace means. But we can't spiritual bypass this. We can't get so comfortable in our homes, in our sanghas, where we forget that there is a world out there and so many people are suffering. This is an opportunity for us to really ask ourselves those hard questions. We have to clear out the grime within our hearts, our own family. And that's the hard part. There's a lot of pushback because of that family karma, but you have to do the work. You have to let the work travel everywhere with you. This is the work. I believe we need soldiers for peace. I know that we can transform this negativity, like how the earth takes trash and makes beautiful flowers. We have an opportunity to do the same, but we can't get to the flowers without acknowledging the trash. We have to acknowledge the trash. We have to use the trash as a teacher. Each one of us can do it. Each one of us must. Dear friends, it feels like we're in a state of emergency. I remember reading a story where Ty said, when your house is set on fire, when your house is on fire, you need to try to put the fire out in your own house before trying to look and see who the arson was. And so I want to invite you to take a moment to think about the little fires in your own personal life that needs to be extinguished. Let's take a moment to think about that. Take a breath. I understand that topics like these aren't always the easiest to dive into, but we must. We truly must. I can recall one day during the George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin trial, I was invited to do a poem in downtown Dallas, and I was so enraged at the verdict. I was so angry and deeply hurt that I turned down an opportunity to speak because I knew that my words would cause more harm. I knew that if I was given a microphone, it wouldn't be good. And so I had enough self-awareness, enough mindfulness training to look deeply within myself and acknowledge something that was very uncomfortable. And I made a choice to do something differently. I wanted to be impeccable with my word. I wanted to use my word to build and not destroy. But in that moment, I felt so limited. And so you know what I did? I decided to come to the Dallas Meditation Center. And I walked in with such ferocity, like, I need to sit down, get this out of me. And something really powerful happened. During the first few minutes of the meditation, it did feel like I was sitting on hot coals. Carnell was not there, so I couldn't giggle it away. I had to just be present with the anger. I had to be present with the rage, the irritation, the feelings of just totally being devalued, just all of those shadowy emotions that came up. I had to sit with it. And as I was sitting, I began sending love to Trayvon Martin's family. I imagined his mother and father in front of me. I saw his beautiful young face. I thought of my brother. And I just allowed myself to sit with whatever was happening. And then I got a surprise. After I extended that loving kindness to the Martin family, I saw George Zimmerman's face. And I'm not going to lie, there was some resistance. I was like, no. How are you in my meditation? How are you? Oh, no. And then something that was greater than me, I believe, because my human self was not buying it. But I heard a sweet voice, a sweet invitation to send love to George Zimmerman as well. There was some resistance internally. I was like, no, why? No, I can't. But I stayed present. Eventually, I surrendered. And I remembered that we all came into this world perfect, whole, and complete. And as painful as it is sometimes to extend loving kindness to those who are being so unkind, it is the only way. It is the best way, and it's not easy. I can assure you it's not easy. And I remember the talk once when someone said, well, why do you wish peace on your enemies or wish peace when people are doing such harm to others? And I heard this message: when people are at peace, they're less likely to disrupt the peace of others. It's that simple. So if I truly want to live in a world where I can feel safe and those who look like me can feel safe, then I have to extend love to everybody. I have to pray for the peace of even those who may not extend me that grace. And so, friends, this is an invitation to really, really, really make a decision to acknowledge the elephant in the room so that we can start cleaning house. When I say Black Lives Matter, enraged and peaceful warriors on the battlefield, I'm talking about all of us. We need all clean hands on deck. You're going to have those hard conversations with your family. You're going to have those hard conversations with your employers, with your friends, with your community. And most importantly, you're going to have those hard conversations with yourself. And let me just offer this. Be gentle. Be sweet to your own tender heart. Don't beat yourself up if you get it wrong. And try to extend that same loving kindness to others when they do it as well. This is the work. This is why we sit and meditate. This is why this practice is so beneficial. Because in a way, it prepares us for when we walk out into this world. We have to practice this loving kindness and this truth for those who may not have the privilege to, they don't feel like they have the privilege or the opportunity to sit with community or to sit with themselves. And so we talk a lot about peace. Peace just feels good. It's there's no other way. Ty always says peace is every step. And I'm like, that's right. But if we're honest, sometimes you take those steps and it feels like your feet are on fire. But then we return back to that calm space. And so what will you do on the battlefield? What tools will you use? How will you share? What will you do with your privilege? How will you transform your own fears? Take a breath. This is a marathon. Whether you look at COVID or what will come of America, what will happen tomorrow, none of us know. But in this moment now, which is really all we have, we can take mindful breaths together. We can connect heart to heart. We can send good wishes. Some people don't even have the answers and they don't know what to do, right? But you can say a prayer. There are many ways to practice metta. loving kindness. And so I just want to invite you all and encourage you all to go a little deeper. Go a little deeper. It's not always going to be comfortable. If you remember the beginning when I said how I walked through these doors literally in pain, I sat with it. I sat through it, and the pain was transformed. I know I'm not alone. I know a lot of you are forward thinking. And I want to thank you for your work in the world and the ways in which you've transformed your own life and the impact that it has on the people closest to you. And I also want to encourage you to go even deeper. How much more can you love? How much more can you speak out in the face of injustice? How much more can you clear the muck and the grime that in many ways we've all inherited? The world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for me. The work continues. It doesn't have to be so hard. I feel grateful that I've been able to share just a little bit with you all today. I truly hope that something I said resonated. And I hope that the intentions, my heart, the intentions behind all of this, I hope that it will be well received. And loved ones, I'm going to also hold each and one of you accountable. I expect a peaceful community to do the work. I loved Thai's, he coined the term engaged Buddhism. What does it mean to be engaged? So please continue wading through these waters with me, with us, clearing out all of the stuff, the illusions of separation, the delusion of white supremacy. Clear it out so we can once again connect heart to heart. And let's graduate from this earth school with A's, please. Let's get A's. I think we have it in us. I believe that together, with mindfulness, with truth, with love, some laughter, because we can't, you got to have a little joy. I believe that we're going to be all right. Let's keep doing our work because we really, really need each other. Thank you, dear brothers and sisters. I wish you well. I send you peace and so much love.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Ashley. Wow. I don't really think I want to say anything, just kind of let it all percolate. It does, everything you said fits right in with what we're planning for next month. We chose the title Actively Together for next month. And that will mean different things for different people, but it could be as simple as actively doing metta meditation persistently and diligently. It could be that some people do want to involve themselves in the active demonstrations and things like that. But it seems to me that however we choose to be active, it's going to be incredibly important and powerful. Thank you. So there are a lot of thank yous here, Ashley. Julie Gilbert, thank you, Ashley. Catherine Irwin says thank you. Julie Ryan says thank you, sister. John Roussel says thank you, Ashley, very powerful. We're probably going to hear a lot more of those. So, dear friends, I think you probably have seen that there is a Zoom link in your chat box. It's you might have to scroll up a little bit to find it, but it's there. And we will continue our discussion, our time together on Zoom, where we can see one another and talk to one another and share about Ashley's talk and the things that we would like to share with one another. So as I said, in August, we're going to talk about being actively together. And one of the things that will keep us active together is an active Dana program. Dana is the word for donations. And as you all know, the Meditation Center is funded by your generosity. And so I hope you'll take that into consideration and think of that as a way to be active in the practice of Dana, the practice of sharing. It's a really vital part of our practice. And one of the manifestations of that is how we share with the Dallas Meditation Center, so that we can continue to do all of the programs that we offer. I can't think of any other announcements. I just encourage you to tune in. We have something online every day at noon, Monday through Friday on Facebook. In the evening, we've got a Mindful Mondays program, the Tuesday night Young Adults group, Wednesday night Interbeing Sangha, and there is a support group on Thursday night. So a lot of good resources for you. So thank you again, Ashley, and let's now make our way to Zoom, where we can share with one another.
Bye, everyone. See you in a few minutes.